All right, can everybody see me clearly? Yes. Okay. So firstly, so introducing me. So that's all about today's presentation. And so here, it's me, like riding bike. This is all I've been passionate about since my teenage days. And this is a picture of me as a kid. So this was like one of what it's like. This was one of my cutest moments. So that's as far as I remember. So next, I got table of contents. So same thing: introduction, background and history, goals, strength and growth areas. We got conclusion. So introducing myself, I'm Ayushna, aka Aron. So I go by Dem series. So born in September, Asian. So hobbies are like only music so far. So background history is I grew up in Nepal and I was born and raised there. I was there. Uh, I completed my high school from Nepal, and after that, so during those days, like I was more into riding bikes. So especially in my early teenage, like I really learned riding motorbikes in a very early age, and I still have love for those. And this is one of the bike that I own, which is back in Nepal, and I really miss it a lot. And so by the age of 16, I started volunteering for a nonprofit organization uh, that is related to street children and children affected with HIV/AIDS, and I really helped uh, many of the projects to get many of the projects in the organization. And this is one of the thing I did was like to keep those kids' mind off of the drugs. We just started doing some recreational activities with them. And another thing is like uh, because of my identity, I just had to come to Nepal, and I'm sorry, I just had to leave Nepal and come to America. And this was one of the souvenir my friends decided to give me. So, so yes, after 18, here I'm in America since then. And the reason I came to America was mostly because I wanted to save my relationship with my girlfriend, because that was not being possible in Nepal. And yeah, she was the one. She is the devil. Okay. So next is goals. So for my personal goals, I really want to be out of depression, or maybe focus more on self-care. And another thing is like focus on year up, because this has been a very it has been a platform for me to represent my professional self, and this is the place I can be. And with all of you guys, it feels good to know that I have some kind of support right now. And another thing is growth mindset. So this is something that I've been practicing lately. So just go there, learn it, and do it. And this stone here, it represents, I would say, stability. So I think like that is something that I really have to develop in a professional career. And over here, it's pretty much I'm talking about self-marketing, like just going out, exploring, and even YouTube. The reason that really attracted me was like I really want to come out as a musician and post some of my stuffs there as well. And another professional goal is to have a desk job by 2021. So that is something that I'm really driven towards right now. All right. So moving towards strength and growth areas. So talking about strength, I'm I respect people. Like I respect everybody's opinion, and I feel like I'm a very good listener. Sorry. At the same time, so another thing is like I believe in supporting each other, just coming together and helping each other. So I'm a very helpful person. Like if I need help, I can count on you. If you need help, you can just don't hesitate. You can count on me always. And I'm open to new ideas too. I really like listening to people who has different ideas and different concept and which they want to implement. And for growth areas, I feel like I sometimes lack in communicating with most of my peers, and that has been my problem since my very early age. So that is something you guys also need to help me improve it. And one of my growth area that I really have to improve is organizing myself. This I've never learned since my childhood to organize myself. I've been a procrastinator, uh, always messy. And another is this. This is represented. This picture represents confidence. So I feel like I lack in confidence when it's the time for me to display something. Uh, Not just as a student or colleagues, but even as a singer. Like I know I can sing good, but when I'm up on the stage, I just forget everything. So thank you. That was my presentation. And any questions or feedback?
Right. You ever climb any mountains while you were in Nepal?
Good question. I have been to the base camp, but I've never climbed mountain, like not Everest. Like literally, I love myself.
Okay, okay. That's cool.
Uh,
Where is Nepal located?
Good question. It's right in between China and India. It's really tiny. I would say it's not even as big as California.
Did you face any challenges when you first moved to the US?
Yes, it's like for me, I was always good with English since my childhood, like good enough to manage with like through communication. But I really had a big culture shock, and the thing that really the journey that really made the journey like I had the reason it was a tough journey for me was I had a very bad accident during my first month in America, and since then like I could not go to college for a while, and many things happened in between. So that was the point. That was a key point to my depression as well, I guess.
Hi, Aaron. You mentioned you want a desk job sometimes in the future. You said 2021.
Yes.
So which track of like what's your career path from Europe? Basically, what's your path that you're looking to undertake? Because that
I
could
would
mean two
say,
things, right?
yeah, I would say that's data analytics so far, but I'm open to any kind of opportunity because I feel like I'm discovering myself for this year. So yes, I would like to keep myself open.
I might see you then.
All right. So, and
here we go. Hi, everyone. So this is a slide presentation about me, and there's a reason why I didn't put my name on this first slide, because I'm 23, but at 22, I had a moment where I realized there's no E in Isaiah, so it's not pronounced Isaiah, it's Isaiah. So it's had this really big change on my name, because I'm like, I've been saying it wrong my whole life. So I'm trying to connect the dots, I feel like 626, okay? And just internally, that's my go-to character. Leslie Nope, she just understands me on so many levels. That's just how I feel. So when I say this is a trap, I mean like it's a trap. Knowing myself, it's a complicated thing. And then I have a picture over here on the side of Latin, because I take a lot of words and synonyms very important, because to me in modern society we don't look at what synonyms really mean, from computer terminology, from the kernel, the brain, kingdom, um, just there's a lot of things we don't take to consideration when we look at history and how we need to open our minds and accepting other possibilities. And there's just a little picture of me being a little salty. And then this over here, this is I've been working on R programming. As at least become like one of my major like hobbies at night, because it maps out, it graphs math for you basically. So when you start writing complex formulas, it can map out what it's supposed to look like or what you're looking at. And it makes a lot of makes me question a lot of things too, because then I look at different concepts and just how things flow. So it's just my mind's really abstract in a weird way. Oh, where's the screen? Next slide. And then we're gonna go to the next page. If we're gonna, is it moving? Oh, don't play with me like this. Is it moving for you guys? Y'all?
It's not moving.
Oh, it's very slow. It's going now.
Sorry about that. So past. So this over here, like, it's supposed to be like a GIF moving, but it's like the people who make us happy are people are never the people we expect. And I've met a lot of incredible people because my past was actually really difficult. Before, when I was in school, I was an AP student. I ran a yearbook as photo editor and copy editor. It was a lot of stress. And I started 2 clubs, the LGBTQ and a comic arts club for all you anime fans. So like low key, I'm a hardcore fan. I used to just be a really good student, and then I started to party, and then ended up running away and dropping out to South Dakota. And during that time, it was just really hard for me trying to figure out like what I was gonna do. And then before that and everything, like the Yosemite lanes over here, this is my dad used to give me money to go here a lot. I used to go eat here by myself, but I know the waitress really well. I used to go there a lot. There's just some childhood right there. We stay behind the motel across the street from it actually a lot, and he just gave me money to go hang out. So that's what I did. And then when I got addicted to drugs, though, I went on a real big path of like my spiritual awakening, because I had this whole thing with wanting to be better but not knowing myself. And then I realized that the hardest thing today, now what I'm looking at, is the hardest thing about recovery is not knowing who you are without your addiction. And just sometimes it puts me in a little weird headspace. I started working in the service industry. I was in it for about 5 years. I moved up from Denny's to fine dining. 1785, little Cuban restaurant downtown in St. Joseph, Missouri. It was really nice. They took an old bank and redid it, and everything's in the bank vault that went down the stairs, and everything was all the wine. It was really cool. I liked it a lot. And I was engaged for a few years. That's like my past, a little bit about me. Removing. What do I want to achieve? I kind of just keyed everything into 3 things, because like one day I really do want the house where the grass is greener. I want my relationships defining my success, and I want to know I never stopped connecting dots to kind of see how that whole theory of everything's connected. It's, to me, it's just this big part of my life. I want a chateau eventually. I really do. I want to find a team that wants to own a business with our unique talents running it. It's not just me in one area, like leading it strongly. I want to find my team of just, we're individuals who need each other to be successful, but our success is built on our relationship together. And then just, did I find my answer for everything? Like, was I able to give myself an answer on, like, the whole philosophical why we're here? Those are like my goals, to find out what my philosophy is and eventually write that. My strengths. I feel as though my interpersonal communication skills are what set me apart a lot. My adaptability skills, because sink or swim, that's what I learned in the service industry. It's all you have to do. My understanding of indifference allows me to come to most situations in a impartial, without bias type of attitude, which I try to do my best at. Sorry for that light. My loyalty to my relationships, because that will always be the one thing I will put above everything, is my loyalty. My drive to advocate for what is right, because it's my biggest problem is when I see people unhappy that don't know the correct steps on what they need to do to move forward. And all my non-useful knowledge I study, because I do so much reading that it's, are you an intelligent person for knowing a lot of random useless facts, or are you intelligent for applying those useless facts? But like but are you still intelligent either way, right? That's my trouble. My weakness is I am oversensitive when I start empathizing with people. I let my emotions get really built on to understand what's going on with them. That could be a problem because I need to take care of this situation without my emotions. My lack of detail orientation is a big thing because as much as I try to achieve more and do bigger things, the detail I put into situations, the things I overlook are so minor, but they can just affect the whole situation. My time management when my emotions are imbalanced is it's horrible. Like if I'm unhappy and if I just want to lay in bed and be sad, I'm gonna lay in bed and be sad or just be on the floor, knowing I have a project due. You know, I'm not gonna take the appropriate steps I need to do because it's just a weakness. It's tell myself I'm human. I have a tendency to cut people off short, which is something I really don't like about myself because I like to make sure I can attempt to give everyone the floor when they're having the floor. But I have this problem with losing the part of the conversation we're at when they keep going because I don't want them to keep going yet because I want to interject that and then continue because I don't want to continue something way later on, coming back to that when they've already moved past it. I talk too much. It's something I used to do a lot, and if you guys think I do, I've actually used to be a lot worse, and I've been really working on it. I really don't like. I like to just watch a lot of people. At the same time, I do talk too much, and it's like a weird thing I'm trying to get used to. I always try to justify my mistakes because I feel as though whenever there's a situation, if I don't feel as though I communicate to you why the situation happened, then I feel as though there's more underwhelming negative feeling towards me, which is the last thing I want. So my problem with over communicating is just I'm not trying to justify the mistakes, but I always want to make people understand why the mistake arose. Because I'm always trying my best interest to look out for what I'm trying to do or trying to get done. One second. Well, thank you. I was Aaron. I'm sorry. Thames. I thought it would have been okay. Like Thames, ladies and gentlemen. Trying to keep it all inclusive. Do you have any questions?
Z, what were the 2 clubs that you started?
The 2 clubs I started were an LGBTQ, a gay straight alliance, basically in high school, and the Comic Arts Club, which was an anime club.
Nice.
Any feedback?
I really like that you share your personal story with us.
That what?
That you share your personal story.
We all have stories. That's something I like a lot. Is we all have experiences, and if we share those experiences with each other, we can learn from each other. And that's all life is just experience. So the more experience you have, the wiser you become.
Check.
And thanks for themes. It's really
No
cool.
problem. I didn't
Yeah.
know if you'd like it.
Yeah, I love it. That's cool. Thank you.
No problem.
All right. Thank you, Z, for sharing.
Right? Yes. All right. Can you guys see it? Is it still loading?
Still loading.
Okay. Okay. All right. Okay, here we go. All right. So this right here is my interest. Actually, I started a little bit too early, but that's a good transition, anyways, because one of the first few things I'm interested in that I want to tell you about is it's like a video game I play. It's like a thing just to let you guys know that I do play video games and the post-apocalyptic thing where like the world ended, where they killed each other with nukes. I think it's pretty cool. I also love dogs. I'm always talking about them. They're great. How fat she is. And then there's Netflix. I love watching movies. And you guys ever have any good recommendations? Let me know. I'm gonna need those. I also love burritos. Favorite food of all
Sam, I'm
time.
not sure if it's just on my end, but your audio's cutting in and out. What I recommend is to turn off your
Okay.
video and just go only audio for this section.
Oh yeah, let me just fix this. Working better.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, but yeah, I said burritos. Those are my favorite food of all time. You know, like it just depends on where you go, but there's like a lot of different places for good burritos. If you guys have any recommendations for each one, let me know. And I also love wait. I love history. I love like reading and watching videos about history and like historical facts because like it's like fictional stories, but it actually happened. There's like a lot of different crazy stories out there that you wouldn't believe really happened. And this is my background, basically like where I grew up. I was born and raised here in San Jose, never really left. Uh, I was born over in Santa Teresa, over in the Kaiser Hospital. Then I lived for like the first month of my life in Blossom Hill. And some stuff happened, and we ended up having to move to the east side, right next to, like, right on the border of North Valley, the east side. And for the first 13 years of my life with my grandparents, it was pretty okay. Very strange experiences happening there. And after that, my family, when I was 14, like at the end of middle school, towards high school, we moved to like near Milpitas, basically. And after that, once I moved there, like a year in, I decided to start working. And I got my first job at a movie theater at the Great Mall, which is here. And I worked there for like 7 months. And then I worked at Target right next to it. I probably moving too fast. It's a little weird. Personal goals, of course, I would love to travel because I've only been in San Jose my whole life. In California. The parts I've ever been was Nevada and was Las Vegas, but that's when I was 16. I couldn't really do anything there. And of course, I would love to get a car, most preferably the car from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood that Brad Pitt drives, the 1964 Volkswagen. Nice looking car. And oh, I want to live in a big city, like things like that. You know, like keep that hustle and bustle life going on because I like the speed of it. You know, like the grand scale of it. I also love dogs. That's the type of dog I want. Like, of course, I said I love dogs. My personal goal is to get that dog right there. It's called a Sharpei. They're like so big and wrinkly, very soft. They're like the greatest dogs. And of course, some of my professional goals are to graduate from Europe. I would love to get through this program, be able to be up on stage and tell my peers and my colleagues, move further on in life with our careers. And of course, after I graduate Europe, I would love to either work at Salesforce or LinkedIn. Those are my two top choices. I know some people who work there and they love it. Like they say it's like pretty great. I would love to be able to work with them, my friends. And of course, I'd love to build a strong social network and, of course, get money. Because goal says I want to be a baller. Okay, so on to my strengths. One of my bigger strengths I have is I'm a pretty decent public speaker. Obviously, much better in person. This is a strange tradition. You know? I've had practice when I was younger, going to church, like public speaking and stuff. So I have a pretty good grasp on that. And one thing I find is to be strength is I feel like I kind of already have a growth mindset. I like to practice a growth mindset and try to learn as much as I can. But I made sure to try to come into the program with the mindset of growth and trying to make myself a better person. I'm very outgoing, so if you guys ever have questions or like you ever look like you need help, I will try to come up and help you as much as I can. And if you have like I'll ask the questions that like most people would be scared to ask, like a really simple one, like when is this due, even though it was already just asked like a couple minutes ago. I'll ask those questions. And I guess I'm really good with team building. I love building relationships with people and getting to know new people. So some of my weaknesses are um, I could be a bit oblivious sometimes and lose focus, you know, so I put the word. I can't procrastinate a lot, so that's why the guys there messing with his watch because he's losing time. Like I can sometimes have some bad time management because I'll try to focus on much more difficult tasks, easier tasks first, and then I'm also very sometimes loud and talk too much, so like I'll participate a little too much, or like speak out too much, and not give other people the chance to speak out their voice or opinion. So I feel like that's one of my weaknesses. Yeah, thank you. Any questions or feedback? Oh, and yeah, that's all. Thank you.
I am going to
I would-
encourage two people to come off of mute and ask a question or give feedback.
I would like to get some feedback and just say, Sam, that you have one of the most amazing speaking voices
Oh, okay.
I would say ever.
Thank you. Thank you. I hear that a lot. Any other questions?
And in your strength, it's like I really like how you were like, you know, I can ask questions for you, like if you're shy enough and everything. That's very, you know, that's something that you rarely hear from somebody. And thank you for that. I really appreciate that.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, just you ever embarrassed to ask a question? I'll ask it. I don't really mind.
Hey Samuel, are you open for feedback?
Yes.
So I think that like you nailed it, right? Like I think you're a natural speaker, and you've had a lot of practice. And so the things I'm going to be saying is like just taking it to the next level. So you did a really great job. I really like your slide presentation. I think like what I'm seeing from these presentations that like this is like next level. So I haven't seen this in other classes so early on. I think we're only in week 4 for everybody. And so it's just, I'm very impressed. What I would say is that just like being a little bit more concise. So when you're speaking, you don't have to say, like, if you have any recommendations, wait until the end, like what's your favorite burrito place or anything like that. Like just continue with your presentation. And then at the end, you like any recommendations for any of these things, like let me know, but don't say like after every single like thing that you like. And I think, you know, just in terms of jargon and what we use at Europe, just weakness is a growth area. So just make sure being detail oriented about like how we like frame things. But other than that, I really appreciated your presentation.
Okay, yeah, that's actually that's pretty good. I've heard that. Thank you.
Awesome. I do want to mention the chat box has been exploding during your presentation. So people giving suggestions about burrito places. And it seems like a lot of things that you mentioned really resonate with people. So solid job.
All right.